so many of the things that were originally pitched to us as quote unquote reforms were actually ways of strengthening the power of the system of mass human caging and the surveillance bureaucracies that go along with it. Prior to Michael Brown's killing, for years, the multi-billion dollar companies that are police surveillance corporations had this dream. They had this dream of getting government funding to basically outfit every cop in the United States with a mobile surveillance camera. At the same time, police and prosecutors had this dream. They had a dream of footage that looked outward from their own bodies that they control. They could control what neighborhoods they're going into, which people they're filming and interacting with. They control what is filmed when the camera is turned on. This is a very vital point. They also control which of that information is then released publicly and when. So, for example, if the cops really want to foment public panic about like an undocumented immigrant or something like that, they can and they capture a video of a fight or something like that. They can release it right away and set off sort of right-wing panic about undocumented immigrants and violent crime.
Sorry to interrupt, but didn't you say, I know you referenced, this might be veering off our track a little bit, but you referenced in the paper that there are boutique like consultant firms that help with the rollout of videos.
Absolutely. There's a massive bureaucracy of public relations professionals. Most of them are actually in-house. So, for example, the LAPD alone has 25 full-time, as of a few years ago, 25 full-time people. The LA Sheriff's Department have 42 people, full-time public relations people, making videos, editing videos,
Mm,
making statements to the media, doing social media, infiltrating with the families of the victims of police violence and trying to shape their reaction. The Chicago
mm,
police had 4 such people when they killed Laquan McDonald. And remember, they hid the video of Laquan McDonald's murder,
right.
you know, for a long time until a judge, after the election of Rahm Emanuel, the re-election, then a judge
Yeah.
forced them to release it. But today they have over 50 of those people in their budget. So,
So
so
they
it's
use like Laquan McDaniel to get more public relations people.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the response of the policing bureaucracy when they murder a black child is to not stop doing those things or hold themselves accountable. It's to get more people to
Damage
see
control.
that stuff. Yeah, exactly. So the body cameras, this is a really critical thing. Police and prosecutors very much wanted body cameras for all those reasons I mentioned. They can control the timing and virality. If there is an incident of police violence, they can actually withhold the video to prevent the public from getting outraged. But the most important thing is they all understood that it would enable hundreds of thousands of cops around the country to have mobile surveillance cameras that could then be linked to artificial intelligence, facial recognition, voice recognition, predictive policing algorithms, right? And so there's these huge companies like Microsoft and Amazon that have these cloud computing contracts. So we're actually talking about multiple layers of multi-billion dollar industries that see this as an incredible opportunity from a business perspective. And then I think the final and most important thing is prosecutors, judges, and cops realize that having video that they control is an enormous leverage point for low level offenses, because the body cameras are almost never used against police, but almost every courtroom in the country, every single day, they're being used against the poorest people in our society for drug possession, trespassing, low level, resisting arrest type stuff, misdemeanors. So that system couldn't possibly process all those cases. But if you have video evidence, you actually create a much stronger set of evidence, and much more quickly you can get people to plead guilty. And so it actually helps churn the assembly line much more quickly. And that's why prosecutors in particular were so obsessed with them. And so the really key point for people to understand is for many years prior to Michael Brown's killing, the police and prosecutors wanted body cameras so badly that they were getting private donations from people like Steven Spielberg and other people to actually fund as charitable giving to like police foundations. They were funding body camera surveillance technology. It was only after Michael Brown's killing when Obama went in front of the nation and said one of his main solutions that he proposed was hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funding for body cameras. A lot of the policing industry and the surveillance industry, they realized that they could actually get this thing that they always wanted, which was billions of dollars over the next 10 years from local, state, and federal government for surveillance, if they changed it from something that police were asking for because they wanted it, but if they changed it to framing it for liberals as accountability and transparency, the money started flowing.